So the MCU is finally back in theaters with its newly released movie Black Widow. Well, it's not that new. It just took me a while to watch the movie. In fact, it's a month old. Yeah, so I have a really busy life, so I did not get a chance to review or see the movie sooner. But I saw the movie a while back, and I'm finally reviewing it now, a month later. I don't know when this video will be up, but probably pretty late. Sorry about that, but better late than never. So I finally watched it, and I will be giving my thoughts on the movie. Spoilers ahead. Well, I shouldn't even be giving this warning since the movie's been out for a while now, but I'm going to give the warning anyway because you never know. Anyway, my grading system is in percentages yeah, with that all out of the way.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination.
I gotta say, I was expecting this movie to be pretty bad based off of the trailers and what the press was saying, and Black Widow wasn't looking good to be a good movie. I'm just being honest. Also, my excitement level was pretty low because, for one, Black Widow is dead in the MCU, and it's a prequel movie, and we know where her character is eventually going to end up. And two, Black Widow isn't exactly my favorite character. Now, look, she is a solid character. I mean, I get like a B-rated character, but like I wasn't dying to see a movie about Black Widow. I thought, if anything, she would be on a Disney Plus TV show like Hawkeye is. But with that being said, this movie was a bit of a surprise. I actually thought it was pretty good. I loved all the characters. Red Guardian, Melina were good. Hope to see them in future MCU projects. But the standout was Yelena and Natasha. I really liked their chemistry for the most part, except for the poser joke. I'll talk about that more later, but I don't have anything good to say about that. But other than that, they were great together. They had pretty good chemistry. I'm also guessing Yelena is the new main Black Widow, which I am totally down for because she was great in this movie, and I can't wait to see her in future MCU projects. Natasha was good in this movie as well, but I felt this wasn't the best we have seen from her character, which kind of knocks this movie down a bit because she's supposed to be the main character in this movie, and I felt like this wasn't the best Black Widow, or the best like we've seen of the character. I felt like the best we've seen the character is still from the Winter Soldier, and she was like really good in that movie, but in this movie she was pretty good, but I was hoping to see really good because in Winter Soldier she was really good. The story as a whole was good, and it wasn't boring. I was engaged with everything that was going on, and I liked all the stuff with the widows, and it was all cool stuff. The only thing I did not like about the story was the twist of Taskmaster. That was pretty bad, but I'm not the biggest fan of Taskmaster, so it didn't bother me that much, or it didn't really ruin the movie experience. Unlike the Mandarin, that twist from Iron Man 3 basically ruined Iron Man 3 for me because I was a big fan of the character. So I would understand of fans being like fans of the comic book Taskmaster being upset with the MCU Taskmaster. So I get why they wouldn't like the movie, but for me personally, I don't know much about the character. I'm not. I mean, I know a little bit about the character of Taskmaster from the comics, but I'm not like attached to the character. And to be honest, I didn't really care. And that's just my opinion. And I would understand for people. I do understand completely that people that do like the comic book Taskmaster being upset with this. But I'm just saying, for me, it didn't bother me. I have to say the biggest problem I had with this film, and it's starting to become an MCU problem in general, was the stupid forced jokes throughout the film. Like, this needs to stop because these movies are starting to feel really formulaic, and I feel the universe is now being taken as a joke. It never used to be so obnoxious with the jokes and quips, but now it's just too much, especially the quips. I think that's what makes things really bad, is the forced quip. Like, this is the last MCU movie where I'm going to excuse the jokes because the jokes feel completely forced at this point, and it killed the pacing of the movie. If you take the jokes out of this movie, it makes it a lot better, and it won't take anything away from the movie. I feel like if you went into the editing room, take every single joke out, this movie would be 10 times better. I'm not even lying, because it's just cringe at this point. It never used to be this bad. It never used to be this forced. Ever since Phase 3 of the MCU, all of a sudden, there's been forced jokes left, right, and center, and it's just I don't know why they need this. Do they think their audience is that bored of of their movie or something? Like, I know I don't even know kids. I know kids that don't even like these forced humor jokes because it's cringe. It's just is, and I hope they take this quips out of the movie because there's a difference between serious and comedy. I feel like they're not being taken seriously anymore, and they used to be taken at like serious movies. You know what I mean? I'm not asking for dark movies. I'm asking for them to take the world around them seriously, and it's just like it's starting to bother me now. Like now everything's starting to feel very formulaic. I was fine for the first three phases. I really let them go for most of the movies, but now like with Black Widow, that's supposed to be a spy movie. That's supposed to be like Winter Soldier level. Winter Soldier didn't have obnoxious quips. Yeah, so like a movie like Black Widow really needed to take itself seriously, and also that poser joke was awful and cringe. I don't get why they do that in their movies. The movie should have just been a serious spy movie, but it didn't feel that serious because of the jokes. That really bothered me. I hope in the future they take themselves more seriously with some of their films. They all don't need to be the same tone. Some can be funny and some can be serious. I'm not asking for all MCU movies to be serious, but some of them need to be a serious tone. And Black Widow, the jokes really took me out of the movie. That's something that really bothered me. So with all of that, I thought this movie was pretty good, with a few things that bothered me here and there. And I would give this film an 80%. I thought it was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it very much. I gotta say, I love that the MCU's back in theaters, but their future does look a little concerning. I'm not that excited for too many movies for future MCU projects. Endgame really felt like a definitive ending for me, and I gotta say, I'm like, the only movie I'm like excited for is Spider-Man No Way Home, but at the same time, I'm a little concerned for that movie. So with that, I mean, the only thing I could say I'm really excited for is Fantastic Four, but a lot of the other characters that they're bringing in, like Shang-Chi, the Internals, I'm not that excited for. I mean, I'm gonna give it a chance, of course, but I don't know. I'm not saying I'm getting tired of the MCU. It's my all-time favorite franchise. The first three phases are my all-time favorite franchise, so I'm obviously gonna give the future of the MCU a chance, especially now that they own the X-Men. But I mean, I'm just a little concerned with some of their movies, and Internals looks boring as hell. Like, I'm not even excited for that movie remotely at all. But I trust Kevin Feige for things to be good, because so far he hasn't let me down, and he hasn't done anything for me to completely lose interest in one of my all-time favorite film franchises. And Star Phase 4 was good so far with Black Widow, but the TV shows on the other hand weren't so good. But I'm sure everything will turn out fine.